Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the No Respect podcast. If you are new, welcome aboard. And if you're watching on YouTube, you don't see three faces this week. We don't have just Alex. We don't have just Justin. You don't have myself, just Mackie. We have Mr. Brandon Legacy from Habs Tonight joining us back on the No Respect podcast. So let's start off with you, Brandon. How the hell are you, bud?
Boys, I'm doing good. I know the Habs have not done so well this week, but I'm just so happy to be back on with you guys because you guys gave me a platform when I first started. You guys taught me all the tricks, what to do, how to do it. So I'm just happy to come back on with you boys, and I'm pumped up just to be a part of the pod again. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing fucking fantastic, and thank you so much, Brandon. It means a lot, and just super happy to reconnect. I'm gonna throw it over to Alex. How the hell are you, bud? I don't know. I said that way. Jesus Christ.
I gotta say that coming into this, I was depressed when we logged on initially to set this up, but Brandon's energy here is infectious. Puts a smile on my face, so roaring to go.
Here we go, Justin. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I mean, Laval Rocket at least is playing well, so that's all I can say about that. And
5-0, right?
Yeah, five wins in a row. Ryan Poehling with some huge numbers, so that's a bright part of the week, I guess. Other bright parts are Brandon's beautiful mustache.
Just phenomenal mustache, by the way.
Thanks, boys. Mackie's got a good one too.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I've been growing this one for. Yeah, no, I didn't lose a bet. I've been growing this for 26 years and counting, so fuck. Anyways, guys, we've got so much to talk about. The Habs sucking. We've got Drouin not scoring, but now injured. We've got Price injured. When the hell is Caufield going to play? Kulak scratched. I don't want to believe it segment. But before we get into all of that good stuff, let's start out with our shout outs for this week before we do get into it. Want to start off with Diego Sandoval. Hopefully I said that correct because this is a listener from Mexico. Thank you so much for the YouTube comment. And we hope you're repping those Habs jerseys back down in Mexico. So that's great. We've got a new sub in Adrian Vasile. So thank you, Adrian. We've got Alex Jaudoin on Twitter, a great follow. We've got Ryan Rebalkin. A huge thank you to Ryan for his comments this week to us. God bless you. We've got J/Jeff Miologi. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Jeff, so I apologize. I've got Andrew Majapane that just got erased for no reason in the shout-outs because he looked like a stud for the Calgary Flames. We've got Arnica Canadien. This guy's the biggest beaut, Scotland-bound, and just a great thread on our last episode. We've got Ilmatic L, which is at Victor Bourret, on Twitter. And Steph C, once again, with so much support, so thank you so much. And so without further ado, let's get into today's show, guys. We got a lot to talk about, starting with Brandon, okay? If you guys don't know Brandon Legacy, who is on this this podcast today, he started the journey a little bit like us the beginning of the season here. We got into YouTube. He got into YouTube. We went on Reddit to promote our stuff. He went on Reddit. And then we just connected. And this guy, after coming onto our podcast, guess what? He has a jersey in the back of his fucking videos that were super quality on YouTube that had, one was Carey Price, the other one was Dale Weise, the number 22, the Dutch Gretzky. And guess who's at his beck and call right now to get him on the Habs Tonight team? It's Dale Weise himself that calls up Brendan and gets to join Habs Tonight, a great show if you guys don't know about it, with Dale Weise and a whole gang. So, Brandon, take us through a little bit of this experience and what this has been for you. That must be crazy.
So, like you were saying, like it started out. I just started my own YouTube channel and just talking Habs or whatever, and then I get a contact and like, let's start a show. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. He's like, okay, the show's gonna be with Dale Weise. And I was like, okay, fuck off, like a lie. And then like, so Dale calls me. He's like, you ready to do this? And I was like, 100%, dude. Like, you don't realize, like, I have your jersey hanging up in my basement. Like, I'm not a stage 5 clinger here, but like, big fan. Let's do it. So we started a YouTube channel. Like, we do pods at Habs Tonight on YouTube. Like, we're all over social media. We're getting a bunch of fans on. bunch of Habs legends. Like we did Crystal Island last week, so check it out if you haven't. But it's just wild, man, because like in December I had nothing going on, and I told the wife, I was like, I love talking hockey. I love the Montreal Canadiens. I was like, I think I could just start recording myself shooting the shit, have fun, and if it takes off, great. If it doesn't, who cares? And then I get this opportunity with the Habs Tonight team, and it's been absolutely wild. Like, who would have thought that I would have been teaming up with Dale Weiss and the crew we have at Habs Tonight? So, like, I got to shout out all the whole team. Like, we have
Please do.
Nick Lemire, like our designer, who's phenomenal, who does all
Super
of our thumbnails.
talented, by the way. I know that we've chatted with her on Twitter from time to time. If she doesn't know, mad respect, Nick, just unreal talent. So
Nick is phenomenal. Then we got Drew Deeks, beauty guy. I know some of our comments we get in our chats is a skinny castle. So shout out to Drew Deeks. His birthday was yesterday.
Happy
Shane
birthday,
Gaumont, another guy that he jumps on post games, pre games. Steffi Legou, another awesome. Like our whole team's awesome. We've got Alyssa. We got Dale's brother Derek. The whole team is just phenomenal, and it's been a blast, and just love creating content. And I don't know, like it's a fairy tale thing for me. Like I got to pinch myself every day.
yeah, honestly, dude, like we're so happy that it happened to you, a guy that's super knowledgeable, that just has this passion that a lot of us do, but you know, it's tough to put yourself out there, and we're really excited, and we've been watching the show as much as we can with our daily routine. It's been super awesome to see you guys kind of grow, but also you, I think, just in terms of the way that you've been kind of performing and hosting, it just seems so natural. And if you guys haven't, if you guys don't know, I should say, they will be having Josh George's this week on Wednesday, right? And that's on Crushing Cans, or is that just the regular show?
That's the Weise Wednesday show. Is Josh George's Crushing Cans is a thing. Dale's brother and I, Derek, started where we literally just drink beer, kind of talk hockey, and if it goes off the rails, it goes off the rails. But hey,
Perfect.
You gotta love
it's
it.
a fun segment.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, there you have it, guys. Again, Habs Tonight. If you guys don't know, Brandon Legacy are here with us for today's episode. So we're going to get into a little bit more of a sore subject, unfortunately, which is the fucking Montreal Canadiens here. We talked about this last week. Massive week for the Montreal Canadiens. Those of you listening back at home, I know that you're not feeling well. We're all not feeling well. And this is why sometimes a podcast is tough to fucking record. We got to get through it. We got to talk about these Habs, and hopefully we can come up with some solutions, some type of discussion here that can breathe some life. But this week, 2 matchups against Edmonton. First one, 4-1 Connor McDavid wakes the fuck up. 4-3 win, which was cool until the end where we got scared. Calgary, brutal. And these guys are right behind us in the standings. And we all said it. Everyone on Twitter has said it. This is where you need to show up. A couple of caveats before we get into the week. The first one being is that, especially for the Calgary matchups, Calgary coming off a week off. And the Habs are in the most grueling part of their schedule. And I don't know if that plays into the factor. So I'll let you guys start. I'm going to start with Alex, who is... I want to say the realist, but also the more pessimistic one of the group tonight, because I think us that, like you said, Brandon, before the show, the ones that are up in the clouds need a little bit of a call to reality. So, Alex, what can you say about this poor performance by the Montreal Canadiens this week?
Yeah, to start off, I want to say, like you said, it's tough just being here recording this. It would have been nice to just listen to you guys talk about Habs tonight. But if we have to talk about hockey, I mean, fuck, I had low expectations and they didn't even meet those. So pretty bad. I mean, tonight we were thinking maybe there was a turnaround there. Beautiful feed by Corey Perry to Tyler Toffoli. And I think Justin sent the quick tweet out there saying the ice is tilting. And then once again, they just let us down. So I don't know. I don't really have many positives for this week. It was a rough one. Again, against McDavid, you never know when he's just going to turn it up. Well, actually, you do know. He usually does it every night. But we had seemed to have been able to hold him off for most of the season. But he decided to show up. Jake Allen played well in the second game against Edmonton, kept us in it. It was kind of nerve-wracking towards the end, but it was nice to get some points there. But yeah, these Calgary games were just brutal. When Calgary gets a lead, you know they're going to revert to their defensive game plan and just not give us many chances. It was nice to see Caden Primo get a start. He didn't play badly, but still let in 4. Again, young guy, not expecting the world from him, but would have been nice to see him maybe steal a couple. But yeah, can't fault him for that. So overall, depressing week, but yeah, hopefully we can get some good conversation going here.
I'm gonna let our guest follow up on what are really, you know, it's just factual points at this state. It's not necessarily negative. So Brandon, what do you got to say about these Montreal Canadiens?
To be honest, with the games Monday, Wednesday against Edmonton, I found the effort level came back, and it's tough. I don't know how to word it, but I found like besides like Monday's game, they played great the first 2 periods, and then the third period they kind of shit the bed. And they laid back. They said in the press conferences, all of them said like they didn't play the third period, but like Monday, Wednesday's game against Edmonton, there was like that effort, like a playoff hockey kind of atmosphere where I was like, okay, like the team's back. It's going to be good. But I also said too was it depends how they play Friday, Saturday. I was like, if they brought the same effort Monday, Wednesday, they could fare well on the weekend. And then I could see how they're doing. But it's tough. Like you pointed out, Mackie, was they played Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, while the Flames played Monday, was off all week, played Friday, Saturday. So like the team was rested. Montreal's on the shit end of the stick this week for NHL scheduling. It happens to all teams. It's not an excuse, Montreal. You have to pull out a couple points here, but I have to agree with Alex a little bit here. Like a depressing week, 100%. Like I'd like them to steal a couple points off Calgary. I don't know how it's going to go down the stretch. I still think Montreal is going to get in. I don't think it's the end of the world. Like these guys are playing 4 games every 7 days or 6 days the rest of the year. So they got to figure it out. But I got to agree. It's a disappointing performance. You got to think you got to steal at least 1 or 2 points off this back-to-back here.
Yep.
Justin, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, for me, I mean, more of the same. I think Edmonton, we really played well and better than we had played in the week prior. I think we really only played badly for 25 minutes in those 2 games, like the 20 minutes at the end of the first Edmonton game where we kind of fell apart, and the 5 minutes at the end of the second Edmonton game where they kind of almost came back, which was scary for my heart for sure. And yeah, against Calgary, it seems like these guys just always have our number. They just know how to play against us and know how to fucking play that tight game and that kind of trap hockey game in the neutral zone, just clogging it up. We can't get anything done in the neutral zone. So that's tough to see. I think the Calgary game we just watched tonight, which is Saturday, I thought we came out great. Like the first period was great. I thought we were gonna turn a new leaf and really continue where we left off against Edmonton. But yeah, after that late goal in the first, it just seems like it took the wind out of our sails and we couldn't put it together after that. And then some kind of weird goals that Calgary scored and it just didn't go our way. But I really thought that the second Calgary game, I mean, it was more a game of kind of bad bounces with like a decent effort. I don't think we played that awfully that maybe you guys think, but yeah, it was still obviously disappointing that we got 1 win out of 4 this week and 2 losses against a team that's right behind us in the playoffs.
Yeah, just a massive week. And like you guys said, like when we were playing against Edmonton, what I really liked, and you brought it up, Brandon, is the fact that there was emotion to the game and it was literal playoff hockey, which I live with the fact that, okay, Connor McDavid just burns through our defense on that first night. We answer with a win the next night. Yes, we get scared at the end of that game, but there was something that Habs fans could kind of hold on to, the fact that at least in the play, because I'm not the type of fan that again, I think I've mentioned this in the past, is that I watched the way the Habs play really to get a sense of if the win was deserving, if the loss was deserving, you can find some value in that. And I saw that in the first 2 games. And then against Calgary, man, it's like this team doesn't know how to play. So Marc Bergevin said that we could play any way, and that's just not true. We can't play boring hockey, apparently. We have to play this high octane, on the rush. If it's a tight game, which I thought honestly would have been one of the strengths of this group with the depth on paper that they have, and they just can't seem to do it. It's very weird. So, you know, I'm aligned with you guys. I don't know what the solution is. Right now, I'm hoping that some way, somehow, the Montreal Canadiens, they figure out a way to get into the playoffs and there's a clean slate and it's just, that's it. Because right now, it's very hard to find something that Habs fan, you can't rely on consistency, obviously. You can't even rely on consistency in terms of the lineup. You know, like you're not sure what the line combinations are going to be. Maybe we can get into that. A couple of things that happen. Drouin, Carey Price, not in the Calgary games here. So Jake Allen starts. Tatar tonight also getting injured. So maybe let's come back here and see what the solution is, if there is one that you guys can point out. And it's okay to not know, because I don't think even the fucking Habs know right now. So, Brandon, let's start with you.
So, I know everybody's been asking, like, call up Caufield. Like, we need Caufield. But do you want to put him in this scenario right now where, like, everybody's treating him as, like, the saving grace? Do you want that pressure on him? I think he can succeed. I think he can score goals. Don't get me wrong. But also, some fans, it's not just a cap issue like some think. It's a recall issue with the Habs used 3 out of the 4 recalls after the trade deadline against Toronto. So they have 1 recall available. So you either have to call up Caufield or Evans. And if you call up one of them without an injury, that person, whoever's down there, has to wait for an injury. So like you're kind of screwed. But also, like, you need to score goals. Like, do you just burn it, say fuck it, call up Caufield? But also, I think Ducharme right now, like, he's like, the Habs aren't scoring goals. We all know this. So Ducharme's shuffling lineups. Like, there's no consistency, but the team hasn't been playing consistent. Drouin's out with an illness, not COVID related. Tatar didn't play the third period tonight. I honestly, I don't know. Like, it's so not frustrating. Frustrating is the wrong word. It's you just, if you're the coach right now, like, what do you guys do? Like, I don't understand. Like, they're in such like a pickle, honestly. Like, what do you do with the lineup? Like, I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are. Like, I want Caufield in to see what he does, but I also don't want the pressure on the young kid, because if he doesn't score, we know what the Habs fan base can do.
100%.
Ruin it.
Alex, do you have any thoughts on this? Or sorry, Justin, looked like you were cocked up there.
Good choice of words there. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with what you have to say about Caufield. Like, there is maybe some risk of like fan backlash if he doesn't produce, but I think the majority of fans and like the Habs management and everyone around the Habs kind of expects him to just kind of have some obvious growing pains and like not go and score 30 goals in the remaining 10 games. So, I mean, we all hope he will, and I think he will, but no, but I think, I don't know, I just don't really think that there's so much pressure on him to like be the savior. He's more of just like something to add to the lineup to kind of just rejuvenate, just like throw something in to kind of just throw some more creativity, throw some more like offense where we don't seem to have it. And like, yeah, he might get some minuses. He might not produce all the time, but at least it's something different. And we're obviously seeing like lines going in the blender right now. So why not throw Caufield in, see what happens, and try. I don't really think there's much of a negative impact that can happen with him coming in for a game or two. Worst case, he comes in for a game or two, doesn't produce. We see like, okay, just send him back to Laval. He'll go tear it up there and come in next season. Like, I don't think that's going to have a huge effect on him over his career. Maybe short term, he might get some backlash, but to me, I don't think that's a huge concern for me.
Alex, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with both of you that I do want to see him in the lineup. And for any fans that say the pressure might be too much or that our hopes are on his shoulders, this is a guy who's been scrutinized for 2-3 years now for his size, for is he actually able to score? He was a product of Jack Hughes 2 years ago. Then he shut everyone up in the NCAA. And the AHL, he's going to bust. I know he played 2 games, but he kind of showed that he can score at that level. And at the NHL level, realistically, I know he hasn't played a game, but he probably has the highest offensive ability on our team, maybe other than Toffoli and Anderson, at least scoring wise. As much as guys like Suzuki and Drouin are at the current time, you'd say better NHL players, the goal scoring ability, I don't think
Matches.
something that doesn't translate. Like, yeah, he may have growing pains coming into the NHL, but this is a guy who can score at every level. And this is what this team needs right now. Yeah, he may come up and score 0 goals, but it's good experience for him anyway. So yeah, that's my take on Caufield. I don't see the harm in bringing him up. I don't think it'll destroy this kid if he doesn't score. And then coming back to your original question about a solution, I still don't have one. And I think it's been 4 episodes now that you've asked us for a solution. So just goes to show that nothing has changed with this team, at least not recently.
Yeah, I listen, on my side for Caufield, I think I agree with what's been said. It's difficult for me to say that the guy's not playing in Laval, right? So he's there with the team. You see the fucking footage of him just dominating in the practice. Everybody's fucking salivating.
He's embarrassing goalies.
Like literally, the between the legs comes back on the backhand. Like, shut the fuck up, like Caufield. Like, do this, please. Like, this is what we're waiting for, and this is, again, we don't have the internals of the team. We don't know what the thought process is, and maybe I'm stupid. I give them the benefit of the doubt. I guess they know what they're doing, and they keep saying that they can't because of cap reasons. Now there's injuries, so maybe they'll finally be able to do it. It's just so hard as a fan right now because you see this team that's lacking goals, and you have Cole Caufield, who's on his fucking iPhone in the stands while there's an intermission going on, and you're just like, put him in. And I get it, but there's the other side that I don't get because I'm not there, so I don't know if they're doing it because they have no other choice. So it's a weird predicament as a Habs fan in terms of solutions. It comes down to performance. That's literally it. I hate to say it, but you need your defense. You need the Shea Webbers, the Sherratts, and you got to put Jeff Petrie in this group, even though he had such a sick start to this season.
Beautiful man, Petrie.
Yeah, he was incredible. Norris candidate, and he disappeared. This is the truth of the Habs. You need your centerman to be scoring. I'm sorry, but you can't do this without everybody that's just underperforming. We came into this season saying that the Habs, if Dano, Suzuki, and Kotkaniemi repeat what they did in the bubble, this team is going to be insane. And they're not doing that. And then you add all the regression on the defense. What are you going to get? You're going to get a team that's doing this shit. So no solution until they fucking perform, unfortunately. And I love every single one of them to death. But this is just the reality. I'm sorry. That's all I have to say.
Back to the Caufield thing too, though, like with Byron out with the injury and potentially to retire Monday night, I think you will see Caufield in Monday because it's an emergency recall. That doesn't burn a recall because, like I said earlier, like they only have 1 recall left from their taxi squad. That's why he hasn't been up. So I think if Tatar's hurt or Byron's still out Monday, I think you will see Cole Caufield in the lineup Monday. Hot take, book it. I don't care if I'm wrong.
But that's what we need. And the only thing that I'll say to this, and this is what I would worry, is that There's an underwhelming performance. The Habs, what I would hope is that this happens, like you said, Monday night against the Calgary Flames, that we just shut the bed for 2 games and we win. And this is the type of thing, I don't know if you guys remember that win that the Habs had back in 2016 against the Ottawa Senators. I think it's 2016. We're down 4-1 or 4-1. Fucking David Desharnais with the snipe at the end by Piqué Subban. And then after that, Frankie Bouillon just ends it. And then the Habs go on a run. We go on a playoff run. This is the type of moment that you might try to set up on Monday with Caufield's arrival. I was hoping that it would be the case with the Primo arrival tonight. Not going to lie. Just one of those things where Primo steals it. The Habs feel rejuvenated. They get that energy boost that they need. And this is where, people will say there's no such thing as like moral victories. It's just that there's an emotion to the game. You got it. For those who've played hockey and have played the sport, you guys know that this is true. There's just certain emotions that can pump up a group at the right time. That's what momentum is. So I'm hoping that this will be the case in the upcoming week, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
Justin, sorry, you were about to say something before, and I just kept chatting here.
I honestly forget what I was going to say earlier. So
That's my fault.
I'm just going to say Cole Caufield scores 30 in his first season.
30 in one night on Monday. Here we go. Book it. All right. Okay, let's get into a couple of things. Alex, start us off here with this point here that I'm highlighting in our conversation here.
Okay, sure. I'd like to discuss Jonathan Drouin. I know this has been a sensitive topic, and I won't bring up the less content-friendly stuff I've said in our group chats. But Jonathan Drouin obviously has been struggling this year. We know there's I guess he's come out and said that there is a wrist injury, but we know that there's something lingering there. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And this is a guy I love, obviously. I've always loved skill players. I don't usually care when players suck on the defensive side of the game. I just want to be entertained. So I've always liked a guy like Drouin. So there were some comments in the media the other day, and his response to not scoring for 25 games straight was, there's another column on the right too, if you want to look at it. So he was referencing his assists there. So Jonathan Drouin this season has 21 assists, which you could say that's pretty good. He's played 44 games, 21 assists. So that puts him in the company of guys like Matthew Tkachuk, Bjorkstrand in Columbus. Let's see, other big names here. Alex DeBrincat, James Van Riemsdyk, William Nylander. So some pretty good company there. But unfortunately, Jonathan Drouin has 2 goals, and these guys all have 15 plus or so. So I got to say, I admire the confidence on his part, the belief in himself. But to me, those were kind of strange comments, considering he has 2 goals. And you kind of need a score to win hockey games. So it'd be a different story if he was at 40 or 50 assists. But to make a comment like that when you're at 2 goals on the season was a bit strange. At least I thought so.
Brandon, what do you think about this?
See, I agree with Alex to a point. The way I look at it, yes, you're paying Drouin, I don't know the exact numbers, not a stats guy, but
5.5, I think. I think it's 5.5.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So but he's 5th. Well, last time I checked, he was 5th on the team in points. Might have changed after tonight, so forgive me. But he gets, 21 assists, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, 21.
He's assisting on those goals. And yes, we'd like Jonathan Drouin to score more goals. Don't get me wrong. Everybody wants it. Everybody sees it. Like, we know he needs to score more, but that's 21 assists on goals where, we know he's not an elite goal scorer. That's what the Cole Caufield's there for. That's what Toffoli and Anderson there for. He's setting it up. So I kind of like it because I forget who was on Twitter. It was some reporter. I think it might have been Jeff Vayu. I probably butchered his name. But I found like the Habs, they don't have that personality anymore. And I love right now, Weber, he was in the heat right now with the media for his comments. And then Drouin's look at the column on the right. Or to the left, where the fuck it is. And he's I just love the Habs now, they're getting pissed off. It's okay, yeah, I have 2 goals, but I'm also 5th on the team in the points, and I've got the most assists. Like, these guys aren't scoring if I don't pass the puck to them. So I don't hate it, honestly. And I think Drouin's rightfully so, saying he's like, hey, I'm leading the team in assists here. Like, I had my guy.
Yeah.
Essentially what he's saying.
Yeah. Justin.
Yeah, I have to agree with Brandon a bit. I mean, at the end of the day, I really do wish that Jonathan Drouin would have more than 2 goals. I think in seasons prior, it seems like he was always higher on assists than goals for sure, but he did put up more goals every once in a while. Like, it seemed like he was one of our top scorers, one of our higher scorers, I guess. But I mean, the Habs as a whole are a pretty low scoring team. Other than like Tyler Toffoli, I guess. It's not like we have superstars, so it's hard to, I don't know. It's hard. We have Tyler Toffoli like putting up 24 goals, and then we have everyone else is like under 15, other than maybe Josh Anderson. So it's kind of a weird team to analyze like this. But yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I think Jonathan Drouin just should have more goals, but he's obviously making an impact, at least when he's getting those assists. So, I mean, there still is credit to that, you know?
Yeah, listen, it's tough for me to say this, but I think I agree with Alex here. For me, and this is again, so I don't really mind about the attitude in the chat, like when he was asked the question. That I don't care. What I will say though, and I'm going to mention a name here that also has 2 goals, that has 24 assists. Guess who this is? Can somebody guess?
On which team?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you guys. No, Mikhail Sergachev.
He's a defenseman though.
How does that help your point?
Well, I mean, defensemen can like make a breakout pass to get an assist. They're not always going on offense to get goals.
Justin, I'm sorry. You can't argue that way. You can't. That's not a good argument. For me, that's the problem, is that every time we think of Jonathan Drouin, we think about Mikhail Sergachev that was traded for him. And I was still to this day, by the way, regardless of what this fucking thing says.
I'm so stupid. Sorry. I forgot about Mikhail Sergachev was traded for Jonathan Drouin.
Okay. All right. So still to this day, I would do that deal because Marc Bergevin, I know that people are going to be pissed off, and they have a right maybe of being pissed off, and maybe they want to call the trade. I'm not there yet. All I'm going to say is that I would do that deal, but you need more from Jonathan Drouin. It's as simple as that. End of the day, this is a guy that you went out, you gave up a top defensive prospect for, and this is why people are frustrated. So I get both sides. The guy's playing well for the big majority of the beginning of the season. He's engaged and all of this stuff. Maybe he has an injury, but until he puts it a bit more together, he's going to get this because of this player that I just mentioned, which is Mikhail Sergachev. You're always going to have that measuring stick. Marc Bergevin has done great things. He's made some great trades in the past. Even Dale Weise admitted it, that deal that he did when he went on Spit and Chicklets. I listened to it. He's saying, Dano, Romanov, like, he's like, you're welcome. So there's been a great amount of stuff that Marc Bergevin has done. But sometimes you get maybe the short end of the stick. I'm not ready to call it. That's not what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, Jonathan Drouin has 2 goals and 21 assists. Mikhail Sergachev, yes, playing on the Tampa Bay Lightning. I know that that's the next point. And he's in a stacked team that just has everything together. And who knows what he would be putting up here. So that's the other argument there. So I know all of those things, but I'm not shocked by people being mad. That's all I'm saying. And I think that he needs to understand that. And I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself as a guy from Quebec, Saint-Agathe. Like, it's normal. So that's the only thing I got to say on my side. I don't know if you guys have a retort before we move on.
But you said you would still do that trade for
yes.
Jonathan Drouin?
At the time, I would still do that trade.
Yeah, but with hindsight, would you have still done it?
I mean, it's tough to say. I think it's tough to say.
You got to remember too, though, like they traded for Drouin thinking he was going to be a center. Remember when he first came here? They put him in the middle of Pacioretty. They thought he was going to be the Habs saving grace because they went, 10, 15, 20 years out of center before KK Suzuki. They thought Drouin was going to be a center. That's why they gave up that left-handed puck-moving D that they need. But hindsight's 2020, like you were saying. I don't hate the trade, don't love it, but like I'm impartial on it, honestly, because like at the time the Habs needed that center, so they thought Drouin could do it. They needed that playmaker to go along with Pacioretty, who's the goal scorer. So I just repeat myself, but like hindsight's 2020. I don't hate the trade, don't love it. I think both teams are just filling holes that they needed.
I still think we need to wait. To be honest, like to really know, we need to wait. Like any trade, of course.
Too. Like he has room to grow too.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Well, I mean, but Mikhail Sergachev is like what, 22?
Yep.
So anyways, Alex, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, go Alex.
Yeah. Here's the only thing. Yeah, just I guess like my closing statement on it. I do get what both Brandon and Justin are saying, and I agree with you. I do like his comment to the media. I want players to act like that. That attitude, I think, is a good thing. But 21 assists is nothing to brag about. Like he's basically saying, I'm the best of these slightly above average players. Like, look at me go, right? It's not like he's here with 35, 40 assists and 2 goals. He has 2 assists more than Phil Deneau. And Phil Deneau has, I think, 8 or 9 goals on the year. So it's not like it's anything very impressive to have these 21 assists right now. That's my only, I guess, issue with it. I want him to stay confident. I want him to act like this and believe in his ability. It's just right now it's not really there. So again, not that I hope he's injured, but like I hope there's something lingering there that is affecting his ability, because we saw it at the start of the year again. He was playing very, very well. And same as last season, he started the season off really, really hot and then got hurt. So I hope we can see him bounce back. Like you said, for the trade, I think there is still time. We can probably wait a couple more seasons to see if it was another won or lost trade by Bergevin. But I was just hoping to see more from him this year.
The only thing I'll add to that about kind of comparing last year to this year, I found that this year, even when he wasn't putting up points, he was still making a difference on the ice. Whereas in the past, I found like he was more of a liability most of the time when he wasn't putting up points. Like it's great when he does score and gets assists and stuff, but when he wasn't, he was making turnovers and wasn't making good defensive plays and stuff like that. But this year, I felt like he was more often than not making the good plays and being a factor on the ice, even when he wasn't necessarily producing. So I think that, at least as a kind of trajectory for the player, is good and is positive.
I 100% agree.
I'd agree with that until recently, though.
That's
my only fear with Drouin, is that now that he's gone through this slump, it seems like some of those bad habits have come back. So I hope once he comes back from this injury, he goes back to playing. I'm not telling him that he needs to put up 100 points. But like you said, that play at the start of the year, even when he wasn't putting up points, still helping both ends of the ice. Hopefully that sticks around.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we'll move on. And again, I want to just reiterate, and again, we're doing a podcast. We have to kind of cover every angle, but I believe in Jonathan Drouin at the end of the day. I really hope that he's going to be a factor and come back and join this team. So we'll move on to the next kind of talking point here. That's been something that's been a brewing on Twitter. Kulak, Brett, for those of you who don't know, scratched this week, and in favor of John Merrill as well as Eric Gustafsson, and there was 7D available for the team against Calgary both nights. And Kulak still didn't make the cut. Romanov, I should say, was opted from the group, I guess. So your thoughts on this, and start with you, Brandon.
I don't like Kulak being scratched, because if you look at advanced analytics or advanced stats, whatever you want to call them, every team right now, especially the teams that I'm not saying the Habs are contenders because I can't put them in that category, honestly. Every team has that puck moving, fast skating offensive D. And you saw the Habs, like we got rid of Mike Riley. Now look at it, like what he did in Ottawa was good. Like, I think he was like the only player that was like a positive, like plus minus, anyways. Then he goes to Boston and he's ripping it up. We get rid of Victor Mete for nothing. But you look at these contending teams; they have fast skating, offensive puck moving D, and I think, and I'm not shitting on Sherratt, Weber, Edmondson, these guys, you need your steady Eddie D's. But scratching Kulak, I think, is not the right answer. I know they're trying to get Merrill in and Gustafsson, but I think I don't agree with the Kulak scratching. I don't understand it. They need that puck moving offensive D. I think you guys might have similar thoughts, so I'm curious what you guys think.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go, Mackie, but for me,
No, it's gonna cock you up there again.
Okay, yeah, great. Say it again. Yeah, for me, it was really just a matter of giving these like new defensemen that we acquired some time and just to get them acquainted with the system and just getting them some real game minutes. I don't think it was really a knock on Kulak's play. I think the only defenseman I don't want to say this again, but the only defenseman I would put above him on the scratching list by play, and I know he's the captain, is Shea Weber. Even though I thought he had a couple of good games this week against
better
Edmonton.
week for him.
Yeah,
overall,
for sure.
I think.
But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a play thing. Like, I don't think it's because of Kulak's play necessarily. More the fact that we just kind of have a log jam on defense, and I think we wanted to get those players really into the lineup, I guess. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't have really wanted to see Romanov getting scratched because I thought he as well kind of stepped up this week. So yeah, he's kind of the odd man out, and it sucks. I've liked his play this year so far, and like you said, he's like one of those good puck moving Ds. I call him Petri Light. So yeah, it sucks, but I guess it kind of had to be done just to give these guys an opportunity to come in the lineup and learn from real game experience. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be scratched for too long.
Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with both your points. I think what both of you guys said makes a lot of sense. Don't have much to add to that really. For Brett Kulak, the only thing I'll say is that, yeah, we need puck moving defensemen. We need an offense from somewhere. So it would be a head scratcher to keep him out of the lineup for a long time. So hopefully he slots back in soon. The only thing I'd see is maybe they want to just give his spot to Gustafsson, but I'd be surprised if that's the case. He did put up 2 points tonight though, so maybe that's their plan. But yeah, I'd like to see him back in the lineup, and I thought he was a positive contribution to the team.
I'm going to come in with some, because I don't even know, to be honest here. I want to say that I care that Kulak is scratched, but I don't. I don't know why. Because the thing is that I see a lot of these conversations on Twitter, and I could be completely wrong. This is we're trying to discuss here. So if you want to roast me and give me your points in a positive fashion, if you want to just fucking destroy me, go ahead. For me, Kulak is not the answer. It's really, I would rather give Shea Weber a chance and Ben Sherratt a chance and Jeff Petrie and Joel Edmondson a chance to redeem himself before I think that Kulak can turn into this guy that's been a question mark, like the Metes, like the Mike Riley's, all of these guys that they have the flashes, but in the past have not been the guys that have been going up against the top opposition every single fucking night and being effective. And I could be wrong in this. Maybe you need to do that switch for a temporary amount of time and see what it does. That I can buy. But I don't know. I think that's what it's taking. It's that the Habs want to go, and I could be completely wrong here. They want to go with the guys that have more talent, more consistency in the past, and that go up against these top guys, because there's been times that Kulak has looked amazing, but there's also, let's not forget, advanced stats or not, let's not forget that Kulak has had some lapses in his play. And we've talked about this in the past, and this is why I come back to my initial point, is that you're just hoping that the guys that are supposed to be the guys step up and be the guys, if that makes any sense. So that's why I don't know what to say else. I could be completely wrong on this.
If you're a coach, though, like, you can't scratch. Like, I know he's been struggling, and it's not an excuse. I maybe reduce ice time for Weber, but like, if you're the head coach, if you're Dominique Ducharme, you're not scratching Weber, you're not scratching Sherratt, you're not scratching Petrie, Edmondson, Romanov. Like, Kulak's the odd man out, unfortunately. So, like, I don't hate the idea, but I'm the one that, like, if you look at other teams, they have that puck moving offensive. Like, Kulak is the left-handed Petrie, the beautiful man he is. But like, Kulak's the odd man out. It sucks, but I understand where they're coming from. But as a hockey fan, I don't think Kulak's the guy you do it. But there's no other guy you can take out either. Like, they're so handcuffed.
That's the thing. And I know, like, as a fan, you're just like, just scratch Weber, just scratch Sherratt. I know, but there's more to play here.
Yeah.
There's management of personnel from a deeper level. Like, there's a message that's going to be sent. Maybe it would be good. I don't know, to be honest. I just think that people that think that it's clear as day don't know what they're talking about, because I think it's okay to not know what you're talking about and kind of analyze why they're doing what they're doing. But hey, maybe we're wrong, and maybe the answer is right there, and Kulak has been it the whole time. I don't know. It just could be me, 100%.
I mean,
I don't
at
know
the
if
end of the
there's
day,
anything.
we're talking about like a sixth defenseman on a team, so it's not like scratching a sixth defenseman is going to have like the hugest impact on a whole team. So I don't think it's really that big of a deal.
Yeah. And if we're gonna take perspective here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Kulak back in the lineup this week. Like, that's what's gonna happen. Kulak is not Romanov, who we want to develop and keep his confidence. And after having a great week, if you're gonna keep one guy out of those two, it's definitely gonna be Romanov. So anyways, he's gonna probably come back, and the only reason he would have been the odd man out is for the reasons that we said, and the fact that we wanted to see Gustafsson and Merrill. And if it didn't work out with those two for this week, you can see Kulak again. It's hard for me to believe that this is the answer, is Kulak playing top level minutes. I don't think that's going to resolve everything and that the Habs are going to be fine. But I could be wrong. Anyways, we're going to move on. Jesus Christ.
Was that segment called I Could Be Wrong?
Yeah, it's literally times. That. Yeah, I had to say it a few times, because when you say something with conviction, people think that you're saying it as 100%. So we're going to move on to this next segment, which we introduced last week, and I think we're going to make it recurring in the times of need, or should I say, of times of sorrow for the Montreal Canadiens. It's the I Don't Want to Believe It segment. And if you guys missed last week, no problem. We'll explain it really quickly. This is a segment where we say statements that probably are going to sting. Most of you, actually, the people that are positive are not going to like this, but the people that are negative are going to agree with us, or realist, the way that you see it. Alex. So here we go. So we have 4 statements for this week. Okay. I'm going to start off with the first one, and then we're going to do a round table as Habs fans on if you agree. We start off with a very simple answer, and then we go into the details. And I'm going to see which one sparks the interest first, and then throw it over to that person to elaborate. So starting off with, I don't want to believe it, but the Montreal Canadiens, the Habs, are missing the playoffs. Brandon.
Disagree. I'll elaborate after.
Alex.
False.
Justin.
Disagree.
Myself, I don't fucking know. So Brandon, go ahead.
I think I know these 2 games, like Friday, Saturday. Like, we're recording after Saturday night's game. Montreal lost twice to the Flames. I know these were important games, but I think the Habs will still make playoffs, and I think it's a different animal in playoffs. Are they Stanley Cup contending, playing the parade like Mac and I talked at the start of the year? No. I will go back on that. I was playing the parade earlier on in the year.
This was the committee. This was the committee, guys. If you guys didn't know,
Mac and I were literally planning the parade.
100%.
But no, I think Habs make playoffs. I think with the games that are left, I think Montreal, they're so inconsistent, but I think they can keep it together. But would I be shocked if they don't? No. But I'm going to bet that the Habs do make the playoffs.
I like it. Alex.
Yeah, I think Montreal will make the playoffs, but it's going to be very tight and very uncomfortable. There's not just Calgary behind us now. There's Vancouver is they're coming off their 2 weeks off now, or is it 3 weeks off? But I think they have 6 games in hand, I believe. And if they win 5 of them, they're ahead of us. So I know that's a tough ask, but they've been playing well coming out of their COVID break. Again, I don't want to say rested, and I don't want to say that this was a positive thing for them because I don't want to make light of COVID, but I'm sure it's going to bring them some, I guess, like energy. They want to come out and prove something, right? So they might have a second win here, and they might upset some teams. So it's going to be tight with both Calgary and Vancouver, but I think we'll just squeak in.
They got to run the table.
Yeah. I was gonna make a joke about that tight and uncomfortable for a sex tape joke, but I won't do it. Justin, please go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Alex. I think we're gonna make it, but kind of limp our way through and win a game and lose a game like we've done. Like we'll go win loss for the rest of the games. We have a pretty tough schedule coming up. We're playing Toronto 4 times in the next until the end of the season. We're playing Edmonton twice at the end of the season, so those are positives. We play well against Edmonton most of the time. We play the Sens twice.
Fucking Sens, man.
So,
they're the scariest out of the bunch.
Yeah, fuck. And I think a big part of this, like us making the playoffs, rides on us winning on Monday. I think if we lose on Monday,
it's GG.
It's like, I think confidence-wise, it's almost GG. Like,
Jesus.
And you're following up against the Leafs on the Wednesday too. Like that is a hard loss on Monday. If you follow up and you have to play the Leafs that are the North juggernaut, obviously
they've lost 5 in a row. They're pretty trash,
exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So, but you know what I mean? But if this were to happen, the fucking loss on Monday and the loss on Wednesday, for me, it's GG. It's GG, I think. But sorry, Justin, were you finished?
Yeah, sure. No, that's good.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I had nothing else to say.
I'm gonna just kind of complete your answer because I don't know, but I think that these next 2 games are gonna significantly affect the morale of the team. You know, I want to believe that that's not true. I just have this sense that if you lose these 3 games against Calgary, these must on guillemets there. Wins against this team, and then you lose against the Maple Leafs, and then you're following up against the Jets that you lost 5-0, and then you follow up against the Senators that you can't beat. Like, I don't know. I feel like it can snowflake here, or I should say snowball. Sorry, and it could get real ugly as much as it can get real positive. But you know, maybe it's like you guys said, it could just be that it's going to be 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss, and just absolute hell for the Montreal Canadiens fans. So, yeah, we'll see. And we'll move on now, okay? Because this one's a more broader one. And I'm actually not sure if I want to I'll do this one at the end, okay? This one that I'm highlighting. I'm going to do... Since we talked about them and their 5 loss streak there. Leafs. I don't want to believe it, but the Leafs will win the cup. Brandon.
That is false.
Alex.
And it's not because I'm a Habs fan.
Alex.
I'm gonna say true, but there's a slight false there.
Interesting. Justin.
Big false.
I'm going to say I'll believe it when I see it. Okay. Brandon, go ahead.
So, it's like take me as a Habs fan out of this. As a hockey fan, I love what Dubas did at the trade deadline. You get a third goalie in Riddick. Obviously, not the hottest start for them, but you shore up your depth in goalie. Then you bring in Ben Hunt on D. So I know Bogosian just got hurt. So like you have the D depth. And then you bring in Nick Foligno, which I love for them. Like that brings a little bit of a grit, but also skill to that top. Well, he's playing with Matthews and Martins right now. But I love what Dubas has done. But when I watch the other divisions, I see the Tampa, the Florida, Colorado, Vegas. I don't see, and I hate saying it, I'd love to see Canadian team win, even if I hate saying it. If it's the Leafs that win the cup, great for them, great for that fan base. I just don't see it, and it's not me as a Habs fan shitting on them. I just don't see somebody beating a Colorado or a Vegas or a Tampa, honestly.
Question very quickly before I go to Alex. Would you say the same about the Montreal Canadiens?
I don't see them contending either.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. Good. Because now if there's any Leafs fans, you guys know that this is no bias. Here we go.
Honest.
Alex.
You just wait for Justin. You'll get the bias there.
Motherfucker.
So yeah, I'm gonna say true. I actually do think they will win this year. My only little like tidbit is the playoffs, and you never know. But I think they're gonna have no problem making it to the last four. I think they're gonna roll through the North Division. And yeah, obviously, a team like Tampa and then Colorado or Vegas, teams like that. Yeah, it'll be close. But I think they have the offensive firepower to match any of those teams. Like Brandon said, the trade deadline acquisitions, the depth is finally there for them. And the goaltending may be a question mark, but I think both Campbell and Anderson have shown at different times that they can step up. So I think they can finally ride the hot goalie if one of them underperforms. So I think they finally have the pieces together to do it. I'm not guaranteeing that they will. I would put them as my favorite. And if there's a year for them to win, it's going to be this year because it means there's no fans that can attend the parade and they can't actually celebrate it. So at least there's a positive there.
That's some good Habs bias right there to end that answer. Justin, go ahead.
I just have a question before I say my answer. Do you guys know when is Freddie Anderson back, or is he coming back soon? Do we know when?
He's skating. I don't know
when.
Okay, so
Google search.
The assumption is he's coming back for playoffs, right?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be back in time. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, my concern with Toronto would be goaltending because Freddie Anderson's shown some problems in the playoffs. I know they do have the depth. They have Jack Campbell. They have David Rittich now, or Riddick. I don't know how the fuck you say it. But yeah, that's still a concern of mine because obviously David Rittich and Jack Campbell, yes, they've had good spurts, but who knows how they'll perform in the playoffs in a high pressure situation. Same with Freddie Anderson. Do I think they can win the North? For sure. But yeah, like Brandon said, I don't think they'll match up well against Colorado, Tampa, those big teams, and Vegas. The only way they'll win the cup, I think, is if those teams are destroyed by injuries. Like we saw in the last playoffs with Colorado, like they got decimated by injuries, and that's really what their demise was. And I think if they're healthy, for me, I think Colorado's taking it to the end, unless Tampa Bay can beat them. But yeah, I think if those teams are healthy, there's no way that Toronto can beat them. They're too complete.
Okay, I'm gonna answer here. The playoffs is a new season, okay, and just like when we come into for me, when I look at the Maple Leafs,
the way that we watched Buffalo crumble to the ground this season, and we all said, "Oh, these guys look great on paper," blah blah blah, and all of this stuff. This could happen to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the reason, not saying that they can't do it. I'm not saying it. Everything on paper makes sense. The acquisitions, like you said, Brandon, makes sense. They're great acquisitions. They're a team that's rolling, that has talent. They have a top six that's can contend with anybody in this league. And I would say with Colorado, with all of that, their depth has showed up. But until you show me, and this team, time and time again, has shown that they are a good regular season team, but in the playoffs have not been able to beat Boston and Columbus, at least recently. So
What a joke.
until you do that, I can't go ahead and say, yes, they're the favorites. I need them to at least win one playoff round as a Montreal Canadiens fan, win one playoff round, and then I'll believe it. If they win one playoff round, I'll say yes. How about that? That's it.
No Boston, though, till conference final.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
But I think once they get past it, once they get past that one win and they get the taste, this is a group that could go, that they just ride with it. Because if they keep with their demons, fuck. Like, I would really feel bad for the Toronto Maple Leafs fans that, as much as I feel like they've been, I'm speaking generally, that I feel that they've had a little bit too much confidence for a team that hasn't won since 1967. I'll say that.
And hasn't won a playoff series in fucking 20 years.
Yeah. We all know this as Habs fans. All I'll say is that if they get the ball rolling there, I could see a very dangerous team. So that's all I'll say for that.
But as a North team too, like when they get out of, like, let's say, like, the playoff series here, what happens for conference finals? Do the North teams go down to the States? Do they have to bubble in a hotel? Do they have their own bubble city?
Yeah.
Can families go with them? Are they playing against teams that get to stay at home with their families, have their normal routine? Like, playoffs are so up in the air right now, and I think the advantage is to the American teams. My personal opinion.
I know you're talking about that with Derek the other night, and I do see that being a potential problem. However, what I'll say is that sometimes, in the playoffs, you're so focused regardless. Like, I remember, what's his name, from the Jets, Blake Wheeler, was talking about when they were going on that run, that, like, he was just in the zone.
Yeah.
And he regrets that because, like, it just took everything out of them. And I think that, you could just see a team that, because they're in the bubble situation, they're not necessarily
no distractions, laser focused.
Exactly. So there's that side of things as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, moving on. Okay. This one, I don't want to believe it. I'm going to rephrase this. But Dominique Ducharme will not be the head coach of the Montreal Canadiens. I don't know if this is the best. I don't want to believe it because maybe some people don't give a fuck. But Dominique Ducharme will not be the coach of the Montreal Canadiens next season. Brandon.
Ooh, I don't know. So coming in with the COVID season, not having the time to actually legit practice, go over stuff, because he came in mid-season, right? And with COVID, the condensed schedule, they can't practice as much as they'd like to. So he's trying to teach on the fly. I'm not sure if he gets the summer to actually, like, because, well, the GM makes all the moves, right? But is he going to sit down this summer to Bergevin, like, this is what I want, this is what I need to make a capable roster, this is how I want to coach, and this is the guys I need? Does he get I think you almost got to give him a fresh start next year. But if he doesn't come back, I think I know a lot of fans are pumped about Joel Bouchard, and he's done great with the Laval Rocket. But is he ready to come in? I don't know. But if you are replacing a Dominique Ducharme, would you go? If I'm GM for the day, and I'm just an armchair GM right here, but would you not look at, like, somebody like Gerard Gallant?
It's all about the language, mon ami. And
there's for a reason. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, but listen, I don't think I can disagree from that standpoint.
I know one of our listeners, je m'excuse si je fais une erreur là, David Desmarais. But even David, who's a listener, who's a francophone, who says he doesn't give a fuck. I could be wrong here, David.
Just win.
Yeah, he just wants to win. It doesn't fucking matter. So I'm gonna let maybe the rest of the folks here on the panel, if you guys have any retort for Gerard Gallant, and we can move into your answers on Dominique Ducharme coaching, Alex.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could see it. You never know. I think Gallant proved himself in Vegas. Was he even coaching in Vegas? Yeah, he was coaching in Vegas.
Vegas and Florida.
Yeah. So yeah, he did good there. Florida as well. So I could see it, but again, yeah, I think the language issue, as much as we might not care, I think it's more like the organization, and it probably even goes higher than Bergevin. Probably would not go for that. So would be a surprise, but you never know.
I think he could definitely pass because he has at least his name is French sounding, right? Like,
yeah. Eh?
So I mean, it's Gerard Gallant, man. Like,
Gerard. All right.
Just give him like a bad lip reading. A guy like to talk while he's talking there.
Never talk live. Just always be a fucking pre-recorded show. Imagine.
But would you just give Dom another chance, like after the summer's over?
What I was gonna say is, I think, okay, if we make the playoffs, I think he's given a chance at head coach next season. If we miss the playoffs, I don't think he's gonna be fired. I think they're gonna try and bring in maybe a head coach, and he'll stay on as like the assistant potentially. I think that could be an option. I don't know if he'll want to go for that. Maybe that's kind of a weird kind of demotion. But we have to remember, he is an interim coach. It's not like they hired this guy halfway through the season. So it's not like they have so much. Tied to him. Yeah, exactly. They don't have so much like that they owe him necessarily. So yeah, I think it's really up to really the results this season to see what happens. I don't think he's gonna I really don't think he's gonna be fired, but I think he might be given some help definitely next season.
Alex, I know we were talking about Gerard Gallant, but about Dominique Ducharme for yourself.
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of add a bit. I kind of agree with Justin. I'll add on to it a bit. So I agree, if we make the playoffs, I believe he'll be here next year, but I think it also depends on the performance in the playoffs. If it's a sweep and it's more of the same that we've seen the past couple of weeks, I could see us moving on from Dominique Ducharme. And I would be not surprised whatsoever if it is Joël Bouchard who's coaching the team next year. I think Bergevin and him have some sort of next level relationship. It seems like, was it 3-4 years ago when he hired him in the first place? It seems like he was always kind of being molded to keep moving up within the organization. And there have been rumors in the past couple of weeks that some teams would like to offer him a head coaching spot. So I don't think Montreal would be too pleased to lose him like that. So I do believe he'll be the coach next year, if things don't go too well for the rest of the year or the first round of the playoffs.
I could be totally wrong here, but I think that Dom Ducharme is going to get a chance the same way that Claude Julien got a chance. You know, just like a clean slate. And if it doesn't go well, then they'll look at it. You know, if it's a complete nightmare next season, that's the case. And for Joël Bouchard, I'm not saying that he wouldn't be a good head coach in the NHL. It's just the AHL and what he's doing with young kids is different than what you're doing with proven vets. And I know that he's done great. And I know that that's usually the jump that you want to make. But I don't know if it's going to translate as well as people think, and think that this is just the answer necessarily, that, you know, we're missing Joël Bouchard for this team. I'm not sure, because it's a guy that teaches things. But again, he even said it. I've said it last episode, but he talked about when you come to like elite level players, it's no longer coaching. And right now he's great at that. He's great at coaching young kids. I used to listen to his McDonald things on RDS, and I learned a bunch there. Didn't help with my shot whatsoever, as I stayed in junior A there. But all I'm going to say is that there's coaching, and then there's managing
an NHL team as a coach. So he's a great teacher. I don't know if that translates to a great coach in the NHL. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And
not
we'll
to
move
mention,
on.
not to mention, I think we need him in Laval
Exactly.
to really
That's
develop
the
our
other
players.
thing.
We don't need him to come to the Canadiens, and we'd have to fill a huge role back down in Laval.
Exactly.
So
it's going
I think
so
we
well.
really need him down there to really teach our players and develop them, like we've seen with Jake Evans, and we're seeing with Ryan Poehling, who's really broken out this season.
Kotkaniemi as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
they're
even,
finally developing players.
Yeah.
My only issue with that is that he obviously wants to continue his career, right? Like
Yeah.
if he has an opportunity to get a head coaching gig, why is he going to be like, oh, I want to keep developing players in the AHL?
Yeah, we're a rich
I know
team.
the
Just give him an
organization
extra
wants
mil
that.
down there.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That works. But another argument is look at Sheldon Keefe in Toronto. He was their AHL coach. There was a bit of a rocky start, but he seems to have implemented his system fine, and the Leafs are rolling now. So
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. I can't disagree with that one. We'll go into the last one for I don't want to believe it. What's the timestamp here?
We're at an hour and 10.
An hour and 10. Okay, great. And then we're going to head into trivia. We're going to head into the schedule. So this is the last I don't want to believe it one, and this is the biggest one since it's a Habs negative week here. Maybe you do want to believe it, but Marc Bergevin will not be the GM for the Montreal Canadiens next year. Brandon.
It's tough, right? Because you got to look at it two ways here. I'll get into it. Is where would the Habs be this year without Jake Allen, Edmondson, Toffoli, Anderson, right? But also, like if they miss playoffs, like let's say Flames or Canucks get on a heater, Habs miss playoffs. It sucks too, but like I've pointed this out before on previous shows, so I apologize. But he's managing two different windows right now. He's got the Petrie, Weber, Carey Price window, and he's trying to win now with that window while not sacrificing the future. But he's also got the window of Primo, Kotkaniemi, Suzuki, Caufield, Romanov. So he's managing two different windows. I don't know if you fire him after this year. I could see it happening, but also when you, like, as a fan, if you sit back and actually realize like what he's trying to do, what he's done, while not trading away all of his picks and his prospects, you got to respect it. And I don't know if you can fire him, but I know fans get pissed because it's been 8 years. But like rebuilds or retooling take a long time while trying to be competitive at the same time. So I'm curious what you guys think on this one as well.
I personally,
Alex.
100%. Sorry.
Go.
I thought I just
Justin,
jumped the
please.
gun there.
Yeah.
I personally 100% agree with what Brandon said. It's like, I totally agree. Like the moves he's made in recent times are almost all good, like all net positives pretty much. And if I'm talking about him in the last like 3 years, and we're talking about like a rebuilding team, there's no way I'd fire Marc Bergevin. If we're considering that he's been a GM for 8 years and we've made the playoffs maybe less than half of those years, then that's kind of a different story. But if you're taking recency into your decision, I don't think he gets fired. The only reason he gets fired is because fans are sick of him, like, and he's been here for too long. But I can't think you can fault him for what he's done in the last maybe 2-3 years.
Alex.
Yeah, I think I might surprise you with my answer here, but I agree with you guys. I don't think he'll be fired. And I think one thing that fans might not realize that the organization and everyone within the team definitely does is that he's fallen victim to heightened expectations because of the playoffs from last year, which realistically, if COVID never happened, Montreal was not in the playoffs. We never win that playoff round. We never build this extreme hype over our young centers. And we just keep slowly kind of developing towards this goal of making the playoffs. Realistically, our expectations coming into this year should have been, let's maybe make the playoffs, until he went out and had a huge summer getting Toffoli, Anderson, etc. And those expectations got higher. But again, I think what Justin said makes a lot of sense. If you look at the past 3 years or 2 years as a team, if you were looking to have a GM, why wouldn't you want this guy? In the past couple of years, it's all been building towards this goal. And this plan finally seems to be coming together. I know, like Brandon said too, there's 2 different windows here. But even if we go for it now, which it seems like he's somewhat trying to do, we haven't sacrificed that next window. So there's nothing that's going wrong according to the plan in place.
Your answer just, I couldn't have said it better. Is like, I was going to say exactly that. Imagine this scenario, okay? The Habs don't make the playoffs. It's complete tragedy for the Habs like that were last year. But Bergevin makes the same moves, okay? We don't see Kotkaniemi progress. We don't see Nick Suzuki just explode. What do we say to ourselves? Okay, he improved the team, but he didn't do anything wrong. Like he didn't fucking trade all of our pipeline. He didn't do any of that shit. He just acquired things that are going to make the team better and spent to the cap in a smart way. And then we would have seen what would have happened. And maybe it would have been this. And it would have been normal to us because we come into the season not knowing that Nick Suzuki could do what he did, not knowing that Jesperi Kotkaniemi is going to eat salmon and bulk up and fucking hit the shit out of everyone in the fucking bubble. We're not going to see any of that stuff. We're going to go into the season with slow expectations. But again, the only problem is that we start the season off with 10-game winning streak, and then we get down the fucking drain. But if you remove that and the 10-game winning streak, that is the expectations that would have been. That does not ruin, and it changes the conversation we would have had today about Marc Bergevin. This is all a thing about perspective, and you said it perfect. Everyone kind of completed their answers here, and I think that again, the cherry on top there was your point. There is that we're coming in from expectations as fans, and if you're Jeff Molson, you don't give a fuck about what the fans think, to be honest, and that's just the truth of business, unless it affects sales, right? Yeah. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong in the sense that might be enough for him because of the era, the tenure that he's kind of been on for 9 years or whatever. So that could be it, and he surprises me, but I do not think that Marc Bergevin is not the GM. Brandon, please.
Like I was just gonna jump in quick too. Like I know some fans were, I mean, they weren't pissed about the deadline, but they're not upset either. They weren't pissed about the deadline, but they weren't happy. But like if you're a Habs fan and you finally clue in and realize, I hate saying it, I'm sorry, Habs fans, unless something crazy happens and we get 2014 Price back and everything, like the stars align, I don't see them winning the cup this year. But Bergevin added Merrill and Gustafsson coming in. You got Caufield as kind of a rental. He did not trade a single like first round pick or a grade A prospect chasing this year. I think he knows, like, hey, if we get in playoffs, anything can happen. But I'm also not going to get rid of what's coming next either. Like you look like Toronto, and they had to do it because like the way their cap is and like the way their team's built right now, Toronto's all in. Yeah. They have 0 picks next couple of years, but they're in the position to do so. So I don't think Bergevin is going to get fired this year.
No.
And just to say, like Mackie just said, I don't think he did anything wrong this year. I literally think he did everything right this year. Like he didn't make one wrong move. He solved the problems that we had. We discovered we have new problems, obviously, this year, but he got us a great backup goalie. He got us some more stability on defense. And he got us scorers, actual people that can put the fucking puck in the net. And
if they weren't here this year, it's fucking game over, by the way. Just letting you know.
So I think like A+ marks for Marc Bergevin this year. I don't think he should be fired. And yeah, we'll see, but I really hope he doesn't get fired.
Now, the only caveat, and this is where you guys can chime in, throw in some comments down below in YouTube or send us a nasty DM in Twitter if you really want to, whatever the hell you want. You can hit us up on our on our Twitter handles that we have here posted up. But the only thing that I'll say is that maybe some people are going to say he should have known that this decor was not good enough and that he should have done something different, which maybe it's true, maybe. So let us know what you guys think. This was the I Don't Want to Believe It segment. Again, if you guys want to answer like a thread on Twitter, go ahead. Arnika Sehab did that, so thank you so much. We didn't get into all of the details of that, but it's greatly appreciated and adds to the discussion that we can bring the next time. So
I'm just going to quickly
move
answer
on.
your thing. Just go back to the beginning of the season and look at every analyst's answer when they're asked about Habs D. Every single analyst said Habs have the best D in the North Division.
Exactly.
They're stacked on D. They have so much depth. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is for the haters, that's right, Alex, that I'll be here and I forgive you if the Habs, come back and you join back on the bandwagon. So I forgive you already. All right, let's move in to trivia with Justin, and then we'll get into the last segment, which is the schedule. A bit of a longer episode, but it's worth it. We got Brando here today, so it's great. Let's get into it. What do you got for us, Justin?
Okay, so last week we had a jersey numbers segment, and I'm gonna go in the same vein for this one. So I kind of switched it up a little bit. Since we have 3 people now, I'm gonna do a kind of like elimination round. So basically, I'm gonna say,
I like it.
I'm gonna go one by one. So I'll start with like Alex or something, and I'll give them a number, and they have to come up with a player who wore that number, and then we'll just keep on going until there's only one of us left.
Oh God!
On the Montreal Canadiens,
on the
course,
Montreal
right?
Canadiens, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Oh fuck!
And I'll let you each have one hint. So if you're really stuck, you can ask me for a hint, and I'll give you a hint.
Okay. I like this shit a lot. All right, here we go, Brando. I hope you're ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Alex going first.
Yeah, Alex is first. We're gonna start off with.
I need a hint, please.
Okay. Let's go with 21.
Oh, I could have got that one.
Yeah, same.
Am I going crazy? Brian Giunta? Did he wear
Good.
21?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Okay, Brandon. I'll give you. How about 22?
Dale Weiss, Dutch Gretzky. I was hoping you do that.
Here we go. At Habs Tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Fuck.
Okay, Mackie, I'll give you 13.
Mike Camilleri.
Okay.
Ooh.
Back to Alex. Let's go with number 26.
Jeff Petrie.
Perfect.
Like that.
Perfect. Brandon, 17.
Kovalchuk.
Okay.
I like it.
Mackie. I'm trying to find players that aren't currently on the team. 10. Mackie.
Ben là,
that's a
c'est
tough one.
Guy Lafleur.
Oh.
Okay, this one's gonna be tough for Alex. Number 7.
Fuck.
Oh,
I know this one, I think.
7.
the dirty one.
Howie Morenz.
There
Oh,
you go.
beast. Good
Bingo.
He Googled.
It's too slow. I can't hear Justin anymore on my side. I don't know. Hello? Okay,
Oh.
2 seconds,
I
ladies and
saying
gentlemen.
1 second.
Yeah, we've got some technical difficulties.
This is where I'm gonna get roasted by Habs fans.
Okay, we got Justin back
I
now.
unplugged my mic by accident. Sorry about that.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay, so we're at Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Number 12. This one's not easy.
Ooh, I know this one.
12. Oh man, I think I'm out. 12.
You can
12,
ask for
12.
a hint if you want.
I'll take a hint, but it's not gonna help.
This guy also played for the Maple Leafs, and he was kind of a small legend on the Maple Leafs in the early 2000s.
In the early 2000s?
I think I know, yeah.
It's not Caberlet, is it?
No,
No. Yeah, I'm out.
sorry.
Which-
This one was tough.
What
It was Darcy Tucker.
Oh fuck me! Yeah, he played for Fredericton Canadians, my
Yeah.
hometown.
This is a kind of hard one, but
Wait
That's fair,
a
though.
second. Wait a second. Number 12 for the Montreal Canadiens? Isn't that Dickie Moore?
There's Dickie Moore and there's John Beliveau too. Fuck, I didn't see those guys.
Oh my god.
Those guys. Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
No, it's okay. I'm an idiot too. Don't worry. I have the list in front of me.
Wait,
and I didn't see them.
Jean Béliveau wore number 4, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you saying that he wore
Must have been
number
his
12?
rookie year or something.
Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, that's I guess why.
Okay.
Wait,
Thank God.
Jean Béliveau,
Fuck.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not quitting my life.
But Dickie Moore did for sure though. So
Yeah, because I
Anyway.
saw it in the Raptor. Then you said Darcy Tucker. I was like, what?
Tough
Yeah.
one. I like this game though. Let's see what
Yeah.
Mackie gets.
yeah, okay. Let's try and get a harder one.
Give me.
Okay, wait, it's Mackie right now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Go with 42. It's not that hard.
Ooh,
Alexander Perezogan.
Oh, good one. That's down the list.
good call, Mackie.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, for Alex, let's go with 54.
54?
That's tough.
Ryan White was 53, right?
Yeah.
54. Jan Boulis.
Oh. No, but you get a hint. So he's someone who did not pan out very recently for the Habs.
Oh,
Did you say something?
Nikita Sherbak?
No.
Was Nikita Sherbak? He didn't wear 54.
No. Charles Judon.
That's it. I'm
yeah.
out.
Oh fuck.
Oh, okay.
Shall.
Yeah.
It's true.
So that's
Completely
54.
forgot about that.
Now, Mackie, for the win, you have to get this one.
All right, here we go.
Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. You're not
Oh,
gonna like
fuck.
me. 68.
31.
68.
Yep.
No one's ever worn that number. You're lying. Right?
There's one player that has,
Oh my
and
god.
he's not in any way a Habs legend. Remember, you have a hint.
60.
You have a hint.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with my guess and then I'll get the hint.
Kind of cheating the system like Alex did, but okay.
Yeah. Christian Thomas.
No.
Fuck. Here we go.
I wonder
Give me
what
him,
Christian,
please.
what Christian Thomas, what number was he? I think he
60?
was around like
20?
Yeah, maybe. No, 60 was Jose Theodore.
Yeah, but then Christian Thomas took it because he
Oh,
didn't.
you're right. You're crazy.
Yeah, yo.
I seem to remember because at one point Jose Theodore was the only Habs player to wear 60. So I just assumed that
okay.
that was still the case, but no.
Okay.
Fuck. What number was it again?
68.
68. Okay, sorry.
I need a hint.
He's a defenseman who played from 2009 to 2013.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Oh, I might know.
2010 to 2013.
2009.
2009. Who the fuck was on the team back then?
I think I've got a guess. But it's
Yeah,
not mine.
Is he from Europe?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now Max
You
is
know?
getting some guesses. Okay, well, just say a guess. You have 10 seconds.
Okay, you have 10 seconds. I'm going to use all those 10 seconds, by the way, for fucking 68. Fuck. I'm going to go with Yanni Ninema.
Oh! No. Sorry.
Fuck.
Rafael Diaz?
No, good guess, though. He was 64,
Oh, that was my
I
guess.
believe. No, wait. What number was he? He wasn't 64.
63?
62?
maybe?
61, 63.
There's no good numbers left.
Yeah, he's
These
61.
Montreal
He was
Canadiens are
61.
screwed.
Yeah.
He was 62?
He was 61.
61. Yeah, there you go.
Rafael Diaz, that is.
68?
Yannick Weber. 68.
68?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Ah.
you said, at first you said Yanni, and I was sure you got it. I know I was going to freak out, but
Oh,
you did not
fuck.
get it.
Damn it.
But
Yeah, it was
I
good,
guess
though.
Mackie is the best loser out of you guys, so
Wait, what?
Hey,
good for him. And
don't you know what the
I
tie?
was
They
tied
both
with
got it
him.
wrong.
Yeah, I was tied with
Yeah, no, we all suck. We all suck.
okay, yeah, it's right. You're both equal losers,
Yeah.
and Brandon's just like a cut below.
I'll take it.
Oh man, that's a great. I absolutely love this number segment, so I like to bring it back again. So, I feel like it's a
running
good
out
kind
of
of
numbers.
yeah, 100%. We will at some point, but yeah, we'll move on for the last portion of today's show, a bit of a longer one, as we mentioned. So again, thank you to everyone who listened right through. Brandon Legacy with us today, Habs Tonight legend, but also part of the No Respect fam forever. So this week, the Montreal Canadiens, Monday against the Flames, Wednesday against the Leafs, Friday against the Jets, and Saturday against the fucking Senators. All right. So, Brandon, what is your prediction for this week?
It's another 4-7. You need 2 against the Flames, but the way the Flames are playing, like I find like this year it's weird. It's like Montreal can beat Edmonton. Edmonton rolls over Ottawa. Ottawa rolls over the Habs and the Leafs. Like it's a shit show, honestly.
Yeah,
So I don't
complete shit
know.
show.
As a fan, if they go 2-4 this week, I'm happy. So there's 8 points available. They get 4 or 5 points. Great week, I think. But like I said, like, yeah, if they go 2-2, if they split the week, I'm good.
Yeah, I like that. Alex, let's go.
Yeah, I think they're going to make things exciting for us fans and for our podcast next weekend. So I think we're going to go 0-4.
That's the 4 teams that they can't really beat this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's a tough week, especially those first 3 games: Calgary, Toronto, Winnipeg, and then the Senators, who we can't beat. So honestly, I would not be surprised to see us go 0-4. Hopefully, that's not the case, and hopefully, I'm once again wrong with my predictions. But yeah, 0-4 is my call.
Okay, Justin.
I'm just getting ready. It's gonna be 4-0.
No,
And you know why?
you can't say that.
You know
You
why?
can't.
It's because of this.
Oh, Cole Caufield. For
'cause of
those of
Cole
you not
Caufield.
watching right now, Justin bought a Cole Caufield jersey. It's absolutely beautiful. He's used it on our Twitter so often and very, very well used. So
I've milked the
please go
shit
into
out of it.
detail.
Yeah, no, I was kind of a joke, but I do think Cole Caufield will play, like Brandon said earlier in the show, which I think will spark something. I think we have to fucking beat the Flames. We're gonna beat them because we've lost 2 in a row. If we lose another one, as I said earlier, we're not making the playoffs because it's just a moral defeat. And
Yeah.
I think if we lose that third one, it's just like, why even make the playoffs at that point? Like, we've lost these big games. Like, what happens when it's an even bigger game in the playoffs, you know? So we have to win against the Flames, and I'm saying 4-0. Fuck it. If we win against the Flames, we have momentum. We beat the Leafs last game. We can beat them again. Jets, fuck them. We can beat them. Sens, they're trash. We can beat them. So that's my technical analysis of that.
Yeah. I wanna believe you, man, but I think it's gonna be another fucking give and take week. 2-2 for me. We'll see. I really want the wins again. The one win is against Calgary because it could potentially set the tone for the rest of the one. But playing against the Leafs, playing against the Jets, those are the ones that I expect we actually lose. And I want to hope that the Habs win against the Senators. I know that they've been putting trouble against a bunch of teams, but it's enough. Just win against the Sens. And, hopefully that's the case. So that's it, guys. This was a long one. Went up and down and went through different emotions. We got excited. We got sad. We got intrigued. It was great to have you back on, Brandon. I hope you enjoyed it. How was your experience on the No Respect the second time around here?
Boys, I love coming on. And I told you guys from the very start, like we've kept in touch somewhat.
Yeah, of course.
After the first show I came on, I was like, boys, anytime you need somebody to jump on, let me know. And finally, we made it happen. I know last weekend we were supposed to do an episode last week, but my schedule came into play here. But I'm just happy we got to do it tonight, and just love what you guys are doing. And I've always supported the show. I've always messaged you guys. Love what you guys are doing. You guys deserve so much more recognition, and just pumped to see you guys doing well. And I want you guys to keep succeeding. Like it's a blast to be on here, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
Fuck, man.
Thanks
That
a
one
lot,
hits in
man.
the feels, dude. I really appreciate it, Brandon. You know what? I kept this as a little surprise, but this is a pretty big milestone for us. I know it's not that much for maybe people listening, but we hit officially 100 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you so
Awesome.
much.
That's fucking cool.
It's really great just to have 100 people that like just actually want to follow your content, even if you don't and you're just showing support. Thank you so much. It really means a lot for us. And again, Brandon, if you want to catch him, he's going to be on Habs Tonight again, a show that's with the Dutch Gretzky, Dale Weise, a whole team over there. Great
Yeah,
kind of quality.
to be honest, Maki, I think
Sorry, go ahead, Alex. I think there was a
think that
little bit of a delay through
I think
Discord.
that was a glitch from like 2 minutes ago.
Actually?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, that was legit from like over a minute ago, so you can move on from that.
All good.
Okay, great. But yeah, so again, 100 subscribers on YouTube. And then I was talking about Habs Tonight for Brandon, who's with Dale Weise, as you guys now know, which we repeated and we'll repeat again. Great show. It's entertaining. You get the insights of Dale Weise, who's actually been there. That's the difference. Is the No Respek fam here? We're fucking outside the walls. You got a show where we're in the walls. So that's great. And if you guys want to catch Josh George's right on Wednesday,
Yeah,
that's going to be
Wednesday.
sick. That's going to be sick. So any other plugs that like, shout outs, whatever you need to do, plug them all in, please.
And well, like Habs Tonight, like follow us on all socials and also like subscribe on YouTube because we'll do live. And so when we do it live, you guys can jump in chats. You guys can email us and jump in the show. Like we'll pull you up in the show, talk to you. Dale will talk to you. So like we do live pre games, post games. We have a French show for the Francais fans where Nick and Shane will break down the week around the league. But also, if you like a couple beverages, Dale's brother Derek and I do crushing cans every week where we kind of get in one and just go wherever the hell it goes.
It's beautiful.
But like I said, just follow Habs Tonight on either like any social media or YouTube. But also subscribe to this channel too, because you guys are doing essentially what we're doing, just friends getting together like a good team and just talking Habs and having fun. So I love jumping on with you guys, and I thank you for giving me the time to promo our show, but as well, come back to the No Respek podcast. Subscribe. I know you guys put it up on all podcast platforms, so subscribe there, follow, like everything, comment, do whatever you guys do. Thank you guys.
What a beauty.
Thank you. Jesus Christ, Brandon. You're just this guy's the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Brandon, on behalf of Alex, on behalf of Justin, and on behalf of myself, Mackie, we always remind you to respect the
Orgasm Nation.
Have a great one. Go Habs, go. Merci beaucoup et à la prochaine.
Peace.